Heyday play day.
Hey there, Pillow Pals. How's your day? How's your life? How's your mom? Hope everyone's doing well in that trifecta. Mr. Pillowsuit here with another episode of Heyday Playday. The Legend of Pillow. Reluctantly. But with here, my good friend, my best friend, Medi.
Yay, Medi.
Playing the game as Pillow because
It's an homage.
you want it to be an homage.
Yeah.
I think it's just you wanting to kill me over and over again. I think that's what this is.
Oh, maybe maybe Freud would have something to say about that.
I think you're having a couple of slips right now.
Come on, drop a heart.
They're not gonna drop a heart.
Somebody drop a heart.
They ain't gonna drop no hearts. They're like, what you doing in our desert?
Where's my money?
Where's my money? $2. Where's my money?
Oh, jeez.
It was a lot. $2 was a lot of money back in Link's days.
Hey, speaking of $2, did you ever, when you were younger, like, because you're an entrepreneur, we all know this. I know about your hustles that you've ran as an adult to make a little extra side cash.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have any money making schemes when you were younger?
Yes. No. Okay. So. Let me.
I like that you're tempering the story beforehand.
I'm trying to make sure that because the first I had two.
Okay.
So the first one I had was pretty. I'm sure that there were other kids that did this as well, but it was definitely a fun one to do for myself because every now and again, it would just be lucrative for me, or it was comfort for me, which was I used to go it wasn't Costco, it was Sam's Club.
Okay.
That's kind of what's more in the Midwest. So back in Ohio, when I was in middle school, I kind of ran the racket of I would go to Sam's Club, I would buy the 30 packs of king-size chocolate bars.
Oh, nice.
And then I would take them to school.
Ooh, money-making game.
Let's see.
What do you think, left, right, or middle?
I'm going to say, let's go left.
Left. Yay! Yeah. The Oracle strikes again.
I knew you were going to say it too. Damn it. No, but when it came down to that little endeavor, so I would take the chocolate bars to school. The packs only cost $15, and I would sell each one of them for $1. So I'd make about $15 worth of profit, and then I would put $15 back into what it was. I think I made about $150.
Nice. That's not chump change for
no, but it was a matter of my parents started to catch on, and they were like, yeah, before the school starts recognizing what you're doing, we should stop this. Which honestly, thinking about it, it's like my parents were not too smart, because if they saw that in a kid now, I'm sure that they would be like, yeah, let's get this kid a little bit more of a hustle. Let's go. But I remember
they could just start saying all right, we'll supply, but we're going to take a cut.
Yeah, right? They could have absolutely taken a cut off of it. I would have started a stand. I would have started my own, my own student hall concession stand.
I didn't go into that cave over there.
But I'm sure the school would have liked it.
I got parental consent.
You absolutely couldn't do that today, though, with how many helicopter parents would be like, you're giving my kid diabetes. I'm sure I could find other things to do, but that was the first one that I was like, okay, this is what I want to try to do. I want to definitely get as many of these.
Oh, it's an open door.
You don't know that?
It was an open door.
You don't know that.
Look at it.
You could have busted it down before.
She was asking for it.
All right. But, so yeah, that's what I did. Did you do anything?
I had something kind of in the same vein.
Okay.
Mine was...
Was it candy bar related?
No. Well, in roundabout way. I was more of a middleman for that. I had a loan sharking business.
Okay,
in middle school.
Wait.
Yeah.
A loan shark, like, you know, did you have like a Shylock that would go break kids' kneecaps if they didn't pay?
I had enforcers.
You hadn't.
I had enforcers.
All right, do tell.
At my peak, I think I had like 5 employees, and you know, I come from pretty humble beginnings. When I first moved out towards this area, it was my father and I, just he and I living in the spare room of one of his friends' houses in a bedroom that is smaller than my current guest room in my current place. And so we built our way up from pretty much nothing. But my dad was always adamant about, he wanted to always make sure that no matter what, I always had a little bit of pocket money on me, just in case. He never wanted me to feel like I had to go without. So, you know, my dad is the best. I love him and I respect him.
Which is great. Yeah.
But he so I always had money, and at that time I was pretty good about my money. Also, I always ate the cheap lunch, so that way I could keep more money in my pocket. And he'd ask me, "Oh, do you have money on me?" On you, like, "Oh, well, no, not really." Until I get a little bit more. And so when I started getting a nice little stockpile, I realized that not everybody was as lucky as I was to have a parent who wanted them to always have some change on them just in case they needed something.
Yeah.
So I started loaning out money, and just like a drug dealer, the first one was interest free. After that, there would start being interest accruing. Now I didn't do percentage or anything like that. I did flat rate. You pay me back the following day with a little bit of interest on there, or it starts running up higher. And when I realized at first that like people would pay me back just because they were decent people and they knew me, but as time would go on, I started loaning out to people that I didn't know as well, and they didn't know me as well.
Okay.
So they didn't feel the need maybe to respect me.
I love the emphasis that you just put on that. They weren't respecting me.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about respect, all right?
It's all about that respect.
I needed to find a way to get my money back. Because I mean, I'm not doing this for my health. This isn't something I'm just doing for free.
Your health as a 12-year-old boy in middle school.
I've got enough friends. Okay, so I hired on a couple of I wouldn't say goons, but they were not always the most friendly, if you get my drift.
Okay.
So I'd pay them. I think it started off, I kept them on retainer, like I'd give them a little piece, you know, just to always have my back.
Yeah.
And
because I mean that's where the loyalty lies in green.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Money talks, right?
Yep.
And so eventually, though, when that wasn't really, new dungeon.
Oh, there we go.
When that wasn't really feeling viable to me, I started putting them on a kind of a commission base, if you will. If I needed something and you collected for me, I would give you a cut, because by the time I needed to actually send somebody to collect for me, it was I had a healthy profit. So I would just split it with them. And it worked out as a pretty good incentivizing tool, because people just feel that they could get money, and I never had to get my hands dirty at all. Oh God, dark nuts. Oh, so you guys can't cross this. Oh, look at this. Oh, what's your favorite food? Mine is cheese. Look at this.
As you have the master key that you can go into the door, but
I can't. But I want to see if these guys drop anything. So I would put them on I'd put them on like a commission base, and it was cool. I never got caught too, which was another little thing. I got to retire from this business as a local kingpin, and you know it's. Have you ever gotten drunk with power?
Yeah.
It's a cool feeling.
In Sims. Not in real life.
So getting to be like the little boss in my school, which I went to a Christian school on top of it too, just to make things even better.
That's
this nothing key, which I cared nothing for. But yeah, so
got a Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. You out of here.
So yeah, Triforce.
Jeez.
Woo! Oh yes.
Every single time.
All right, so at least we know that's there. I got full life right now, though, so I'm gonna go and I'm try to explore a little bit. Yeah, so I had a loan sharking business, and it was fairly lucrative. Nothing to write home about, but I definitely was able to make enough for it to not just be the power trip for me, which I mean, it was quite the power trip. But knowing that you got boys just in case you need it. It's nice. All right. If I don't recommend doing this, by the way. I do not advocate trying to
don't start
people.
a mafia in your middle school, guys.
But
the more you know.
It's all about seeing a need and then filling it. That's what business is. And you know I'm a business-minded person.
Yes, you are.
So it's nice knowing that that if you need to figure out a way to make something happen, there's always a way. Just like you with your candy bars.
Yeah.
And
well,
you said you had 2.
Okay. So I had the candy bars, which were lucrative, but that wasn't where a lot of my money came from. I actually made like another $300 off of another little scam at the time, because this was one of the big things that they didn't have in a whole lot of houses at this time, because they weren't like they were commercial, but they were still. Oh wow!
You shouldn't be able to go in the doorway like that.
He's like, watch me.
Oh god, now that sucks. Now I can't choose that room anymore.
Well,
all right, continue.
It was a good try, but so like that was kind of the beginning of it. But after I wasn't able to do that anymore, so the printers at the time were not like, they were commercial, but they were still expensive. It wasn't exactly like it is now, where it's like you can buy a printer super cheap.
Yeah, because nobody wants to print out things anymore, with very few exceptions.
Well, not only that, but it's like that's not how the businesses make their money anymore. They make the money off the ink. Because so they sell you the printer really cheap, but then the ink is like $50 every single time you have to do it, and then they screw with all of the settings on it and the sensors so that you have to keep rebuying them. So I, at the time though, before that was happening, it was well, have fun.
I deserve this.
So at the time, like, we were one of the only like families that in that
oh no.
Well, this just got a hell of a lot worse. Just run for the door.
Yes, I think that's a locked door. Yes. I do need to at some point come back and kill these guys.
Oh, good. Well,
oh god, I need a bow to kill this guy.
Well, you're not gonna get that right now.
God, this might be a level that I don't really get to do. All right, so continue. So ink cartridges.
Ink cartridges. So we had one of the only like full color printers within like the facility of my at least grade, where what I did was, it was a little weird, but at the same time, this was like right around the time that a lot of
weirds where the money's at, my friend.
It was, but I mean, I'm talking about is like, so everybody that was at this age, we were all going through that pubescent age of like wondering why certain things grew at the look of other things.
So tactfully put.
It's that doublespeak, man. I'm getting good at it.
If you know what I
if
mean.
you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. A nod's as good to a blind bat. So, like, what I would do, though, is because I was seeing a few kids that had... they had, like, you know, Sports Illustrated models on their binders and everything. And although the school didn't allow it, they also can't catch them if, like, they're not showing them off at that, you know, on top of things, or, like, if they're able to hide enough of it, they're just like, whatever, kids will be kids. But I did know that, like, there was a lot of kids that would say stuff to those kids. It's like, where'd you get that? Like, you know, I wish that my mom would like buy me a Sports Illustrated like that. And it's like, yeah, I think a lot of parents are smarter than that. But for mine, they didn't realize that the internet was becoming the thing, and that even at 56K, you can get a lot of photos off the internet that I realized that there was a business market for this. So what I did was I printed out like sometimes full page, sometimes like I would crop them down. And like I had no Photoshop skills back then. So it was like it would just be a matter of it's like I would make them smaller and print them off on one piece of paper. And then I would put the piece of paper back in and then put it somewhere else, like, you know, like invert the paper and then print it out again. But I would print out like models, celebrities, you know, that were like in, you know, these like Maxim-esque, you know, like things that it was never porn or nudity.
Just scantily clad.
Just very scantily clad. Like, you know, the one of which was like Gillian Anderson in her like with no top on, but in a
Gillian Anderson from the X-Files?
Yes.
She did those kinds of things?
Oh, yeah. No, she was hot, too. I don't know what you're, like, if you're gonna...
I just thought of her as, like, this like, you know, I didn't think that of her.
No, she was amazing looking.
I'm gonna have to give you $1.
Let me go get my printer. So, like, I mean, Gillian Anderson, Britney Spears, like, and then like a bunch of Sports Illustrated models that you could find on the internet. So I would get them, I would print them out, and then I would sell the pieces of paper for $1 a pop. Nice. Now I'm sure that because the ink obviously ran dry very quickly, but I would still get like, you know, 50, 60 prints off of these, and I'm not the one paying for the ink. Like, so it's all profit to me.
100%
like
pure profit.
But I do remember, like, my dad complaining, it's like, who is using all of the ink? Like, it is always out when I need it. And
nobody
like,
needs that much cyan.
Like, yeah, right? It's like, but he just thought that the thing was broken. He was like, every single time I get ink, it's not working. And I was like, yes, it's not working.
That's what it is.
Like, being smarter than your parents when it comes down to technology is such a saving grace when it comes down to stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
So I remember I would print these out, I would sell them for $1 a pop, and it's like and then, you know, a week or two would go by, my dad would buy more ink, and then I would print these out before he got home from work again. And I made quite a bit of money off of doing this, and there were kids. The best part is like there was such a respect for me for doing that. And I'm not trying to objectify women at all. I know how shitty this is to have like done this, but it was a matter of like the kids that got them from me. Some of them, because I never put anything on mine, because I never like it was.
Oh yeah, of course you don't get high off your own supply.
No, exactly. Although I'm there with a binder full of like 50 pages of like half naked women in it. So I just remember having this whole like portfolio of these things, a whole binder of them, just and I would sell them for $1 a pop to everybody in my school, and I got the reputation of like that's the guy to go to.
That's the guy.
If you want that for your binder or your locker, because we actually had lockers too, so you would put them in your locker and everything like that. And I remember it being a matter of some of them would get caught, and when they were like, "All right, who are you getting these from?" They kept so tight-lipped about it because they knew that they needed to get one back from me, and there was no way that if they ratted me out, I could do that. So they were very, no, I got it from home, and they would get chastised for it.
I didn't see nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, don't subpoena me. But they would get chastised for it from the school, from their parents, you know, going on their quote-unquote permanent records, and like, but then like, the next time they got some, like, when the heat was off of them a little bit, they were like, yo, you got any more? And I would just do that for, like, at least a full school year, and never got caught. But I do remember...
There's like a little... hammer-looking thing I'm on top of right now.
Oh,
All right,
gotcha.
go ahead.
So, like, I just remember that's what I did. I would put these, like, put them into hands of people, and they would give me money back. It was usually $1.
They're for educational purposes only.
But I also got to the point where it was like people were giving me like 4 quarters all the time, and it's like, I can't do this, guys. Get me some green, because I can't be walking around the hallways with a chunk, with all this change jangling in my pockets. So it turned into, it just turned into a very interesting prospect to get myself into, and it was just I had like, it was a nice like taste of like corporate America and capitalism. I was like, you know what? I did good for myself. And I really wish that I could do that again. But I bought so many games off of that. I didn't put it into anything else besides it's like, oh yeah, I got the new GoldenEye.
No big deal. Or oh well, you guys, I bought this with my own money that I earned.
But I had to do it on the sly too, because like I couldn't like go to Target or Walmart with my parents and like
just pull out a wad.
Right? I couldn't just pull out this huge wad of cash and be like, yo, hey, if you could give me that new controller over there,
buy yourself something nice.
Yeah, right? Like there was no way that I would have gotten away with that. So what I did instead was when they would like go to Target, before they would leave, I would say, I have to go to the bathroom. And they didn't have the bathrooms in the front. They had them in the way back where like the clearance aisle stuff was. And so I would be like, I gotta go to the bathroom really bad. My sword. Really bad. Yeah, walk into my sword, Mom.
Oh, there we go. Much better.
So, but it's like, I gotta pee really bad. Can I go to the restroom? It's like, all right, we'll be in the car. And so they would go in the car, and I could only use that like excuse every now and again. Like I had other excuses that I used. That was just the one that I really hone in on right now. But I was just, I gotta go to the restroom. And as soon as they were like, okay, we'll be in the car, I would go back to the aisle. I would put the thing up there and be like, this game, because a lot of those games were E for everyone. So, and there was not like a whole lot of there wasn't a whole lot of parental guidance needed back then, because GTA hadn't like really put a lot of people into uproar just yet. So I would get like Ocarina of Time,
nice,
Majora's Mask, like things like that, or actually Majora's Mask was before or after all of this. But it's like I would buy those. Oh, I remember Clay Fighters.
Clay Fighters. Which Clay Fighters?
The N64 version.
Nice. What was it? Was that 33 1/3?
Yes, 33 1/3. Yes. God, I remember that.
Oh, such.
Yeah. So times. I got 33 1/3. God, what other games did I get? There were a lot of I got Killer Instinct, and somehow I was able to get away with that. Killer Instinct was another one. Yoshi's Story. But like my parents never knew. And they would see me play these different games, but to them, like, they're just so like game blind.
Mom
to
just
like
figured dad got it for you. Dad just figured mom got it for you.
Not even that. They just thought it was the same game. Like they were like, "Oh, are you playing the Mario?" It's like, "Yep, I'm playing the Mario." Like, it's such a great game. And just never.
Oh, you.
Yep, got you again. And just never got caught on it. So yeah, it was fun. But guys, if you had any little rackets that you had back in the day, please let me know. I would love to get back into business with some of you guys. Maybe we could make some brand deals with
just partner up a little bit. All right.
Yeah, there we go. We'll make some collaborations with that. But with that, thank you guys so much for this. Make sure that you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. Hit us up on Patreon as well. You can find all of our live streams for our Unstitched podcast over there. And as always, everyone, big hugs to you, fart. Until next time, you keep fluffing your pillows. I will see you in the next video. Tiddly, 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 bye.
I don't want to end this one yet.
Adios, amigos.
I'll probably die if I keep going.
Yeah, you're probably gonna die.